welcome to another episode of playonultra podcast. This is episode 168.
Yeah.
Woohoo! So yes, this is the Lunar New Year special episode. No, it's not. It's
There
just,
you go.
So happens on the Lunar New Year.
I did go to a New Year's thing, and unintentionally, I went to a mall.
really?
That's something worth talking about in this podcast. I went to a mall last weekend, which I never do, and there's a big old Lunar New Year's thing, which is not why I was there. I went there to do a VR experience.
Oh.
It was like a Star Trek thing. It was cool. I don't think the target audience is people who play video games, though, because it's just like a really shitty video game.
Oh.
Is it like a walking simulator or something?
So like so I've heard of like the Star Wars VR experience where you're actually like walking through a building, and like if you see a bench, you can sit on the bench because the bench is in the real life. Like you pick up a gun off the wall and you actually have a gun in your hands now physically. They give you like your tricorder in your left hand and your phaser in your right hand, but it's all one room, and so you can walk around in like the room, but for the most part things just happen around you and you kind of shoot and duck. The shooting just didn't feel good.
So it's
at
like an
all.
on-rail
compared
shooter
to like
almost.
Super Hot or something, it's just not a good video game.
Oh. Dang.
So is it a special event thing, or are they forever there?
Yeah, that mall just has like a store where like or not
okay.
a store, like I guess
a
slot, yeah, and you go up and they have a bunch of different VR experiences you can do. But I think given the layout of the place, they're all just single room experiences.
We have
Gotcha.
a big one in the mall that my office is at. I haven't tried that one yet, but they have like I think Jurassic Park and Terminator one.
That would sound cool. I've seen ads for the Terminator one, like in movies. Like the trailers will be for the Terminator.
Oh, some escape room company is doing an official Warhammer escape room somewhere in your country. Yes.
In my country, not Europe.
Yes.
That's bananas. That's awesome.
I'm gonna assume it's the US.
Usually.
I mean, I don't know. There's only like 2 Games Workshop HQ stores in the country.
Oh, sorry, it's not. It's
Yeah,
nothing.
no, I'm not surprised.
Yeah,
I didn't get my hopes up because I doubted you so much.
Yeah, it's
But
Nottingham.
inside, that 1%
Unless you guys
that
have a
hoped.
place called Nottingham.
No, that sounds pretty British.
To be fair, you
Nottingham
guys have a
is-
Paris, Texas, right?
That's true.
Yeah.
That is true.
Okay.
We've also have a Paris,
Nottingham
Tennessee.
is the Games Workshop like HQ's flagship store.
Gotcha.
So that's why that would be there. I wonder if it's
Makes
40K or
sense.
fantasy.
From the picture, it looks like 40K.
Probably, yeah, it makes sense. 40K is definitely
More
more
popular?
popular by a big margin.
Oh, have you started playing Monster Hunter World Ice?
I have actually. That is the thing I have been spending. The little bit of time I've spent playing video games was on that.
How is
Does
it?
it have a bug where it deletes your save games?
Didn't happen to me.
Okay.
Loading screens seem a little bit longer, but all the new content, the actual content's very good. I haven't figured out all the new moves yet, because all the weapons get like a couple of new moves, and the main new thing is part of your like attack rotation. If you want to, you can just like grapple onto the monster, and so I can do it outside of an attack rotation. Like I can say, okay, aim, shoot, I'm grappled on, yay. So I haven't figured out how to do it intelligently yet, and I also haven't figured out when it's smart to do it, because I'd say currently about 50% of the time I grapple onto a monster, they will then immediately do some move that throws me off and like does half my HP and damage. So it seems like I get this new pivotal thing that I'm too afraid to use because I like lose every time I use it. So I need to figure out a good way to learn how to use it. But it's good. Yeah, I'm liking it. The monsters are cool. New gear is cool. The new hub is really, really cool. Looking forward to playing more. I don't know. I just did this story mission where you shoot a dragon with a spear. That's also a drill. So like it stabs them, then drills into them, and then explodes. And there's no damage on them because the game is actually really not gory, which is kind of weird.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's very cinematic. It's like a cutscene.
Gotcha. Yeah, I never really got into Monster Hunter. I probably would be fine with the newer games. It's just when the games first came out, the first games were very much more of like kind of like a hunting experience for hunting's sake, which is cool, just not really my thing. But I think now there's a little bit more story involved.
A bit more...
A bit more like just...
More progression mechanically?
Yeah, but progression mechanically, progression story-wise too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just prefer more of that kind of thing. There's nothing wrong with that kind of game.
More of that.
But yeah, that's
I wonder why they don't include that. Maybe because it's not Monster Hunter.
Like, if I was going to compare it to something you've played, Char, it almost feels similar to Warframe, where your like character doesn't have RPG stats. It's all about your gear. And like you like oh, I'm gonna fight this monster. Well, maybe for this guy, I'm gonna like wear a slightly different gear or use a different weapon which has a slightly different like range or something like that. Like you don't. I mean, theoretically, you can do any fight with any gear, but you generally like respec to fight different fights. And it's also very grindy, like Warframe.
Right, yeah. And unfortunately, grinding and item management are some of my not my favorite parts of gaming. So it seems really cool. Like the concept to me I always thought was really cool in a game. This idea of working your way to bigger monsters and making cool things along the way from what you kill and stuff like that. Like that idea is really cool to me. It's just not. I feel like I would get sick of it or get very frustrated very quickly.
Yeah.
Why aren't you dying?
Weirdly, I think it's fine in the early game. Like the sense of building a better thing. It's very, very quick and it feels nice. But the early game is also when it's the hardest to do multiplayer because like whenever you're doing like a story mission to progress the story, other players can't join you until like you've seen the cutscene for that mission, and so they end just like waiting like 5 or 10 minutes for you. And it's just like it's not as fun as it could be. So like the best multiplayer is at the end game, but that's also where all the grind starts.
Right.
So
makes sense.
Yeah.
It's cool to see it get popular though.
I was looking at some Warframe stuff, just popped up on my feed, and so now you can build a spaceship and like have space dogfights.
I've gone out of my way not to get sucked back into Warframe.
Yeah, I can't
you were playing
get back
for a while.
Yeah.
I'm just at a point where I it's probably better if I just start fresh, maybe. But I ain't gonna do that.
No way, you got too much stuff. Think of all the hours.
Yep. What else?
I mean, it's just because the last time I played, I played for a whole weekend to try and get the new thing. It's like, it's such a low drop rate.
Oh, that sucks.
I don't want to be tempted to grind for that long.
Yeah, that's why I haven't been that into Destiny 2 for a while.
I getcha.
Yeah.
That's true.
Reaching that point a little bit.
Destiny 2's like annoying too, because I feel like you're grinding for very small improvements.
Very.
Oof.
I still enjoy it. It still feels good to play. It's just and they're doing the whole like season thing, so like every 3 months like huge new content and stuff.
Oh wow.
Yeah. But you gotta buy like all the season pass to get access to all of it. If not, you only get access to the first season. And there's been a lot of talk about how it's a bit the player base is divided on how they're doing it, because new season comes, old season content gets cut out. So yeah, they're going with the whole like it's a living dynamic world, because those season content is about specific story stuff, and like maybe you're being invaded by an enemy, and at the end the enemy fails, so it's not there anymore for you to play. Like, get what I mean? So
I mean,
but people are annoyed because it's doing the whole FOMO thing, like,
Yeah, I definitely would prefer the cognitive dissonance of having the same enemy like die over and over again, or still exist. Because like in WoW, someone was making fun of it, where currently in World of Warcraft, there's this giant demon stabbed his sword into the planet, and so like Magni Bronzebeard's things like, you got to heal Azeroth. And so, like, if you play, like, the story missions, like, you did it! You healed Azeroth! But Magni, the sword's still there! No, you healed it! It's healed! That's a big sword! I said it's healed! It's just like... it's like, so I'll take that over, like, just missing out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, even like, because I've been playing a little bit of Final Fantasy 11 because my fiance's been on a nostalgia kick, and so we're now over we're now at level 99, but we've only gone through like two of the stories, which is so crazy to me. But that's just we found like a cheat loophole to get higher level or whatever. But when you are new to the game and you first come into it, it can be really disorienting because all of the new stories, not the DLC, what do they call it? All of the new seasons, new stories or whatever, you get their beginning cutscenes whenever you go to the area where they start all at once. And so it was super confusing for me because we go into a new area and we'd be like, oh, is this really important? No, that's for later. Okay. And what's just so strange is Final Fantasy 11 has kind of a bit of a problem where I would say like maybe half of the stories are very apocalyptic in theme and they're meant to go together, but you're meant to be able to do them in any order. So they have to do some weird finagling with that and it gets really confusing. And so I'm like, wait, which apocalypse are we doing now? And so that gets confusing real fast.
With Destiny 2, I pre-ordered the new expansion. So the new expansion came out at the same time they moved to Steam, I'm pretty sure. So they had at the time the Forsaken expansion. So you just buy that, you get the Forsaken stuff. That was a pretty good expansion. And then the Shadowkeep one is the one where they released to, correspond to move to Steam. So that's a big new one. So I could have chosen to buy just the expansion, which lets me access the Moon content, the Moon DLC content, as well as like the first season, which is season of something. Can't remember what it's called, but I was given the option to buy Shadowkeep plus the season pass, which comes with all the seasons. So current season and like the 3-4 other seasons that's going to come after. I think right now it's on the second season. Yeah, second season. I don't see that option to buy that anymore. So I'm just wondering, like, is it because they're not allowing people to buy the season pass because first season is over and you buying the season pass won't actually technically get you all the content because it's cut out of the game? So I'm just like, I'm really kind of confused by that. I mean, I already bought it, but it's just like new players are missing out. I'm not sure, like...
Yeah.
I'm not sure missing out...
Sucks about
I'm not sure if they're paying the same amount as I did and missing out on content, or are they just getting less content? They pay less, but they get just less content. So I'm not really sure how they're doing it.
Yeah.
It's just...
That's really strange.
Yeah.
Yeah, just cut... That seems so dangerous to just cut out content. Because, if you got new people coming in, they're not going to see any of it.
No.
Ugh, weird.
Like,
That's super weird.
For the main story stuff, so the base game story as well as the Forsaken story, technically where the game is right now is past both of that. You can still access those story content. You can literally go and like pick up the quests, and it's called legacy story content or something like legacy.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you can still play the main ones. It's just the seasons they're doing this right now like this, and I'm not really sure how to feel about that.
Yeah, it's
like
weird.
I understand through the whole, you want the world to be dynamic and stuff, but there's also the whole like, we paid money and we want the content. Like,
exactly. Yeah, exactly.
And also it doesn't let you become a casual player.
Yeah, you have to be avid.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Oof. I'm surprised their player base is still where it's at.
Because it's a good game. It's just, I mean, I won't recommend it like Warframe, but it's, I don't know. What else did you do for?
I played a little bit of The Witcher. Basically just enough to get to the first town, into the first inn, play my first game of Gwent.
Do you like Gwent? I never figured it out. I never bothered to try it.
The one game I played wasn't super fun. I think it'd be more fun if I had more cards and the deck had actually building a deck with a strategy, because the first game is I drew a good hand with high number of cards, I'm gonna win this one. It's not a lot of actual tactics to it.
Which Witcher are you playing, by the way?
3.
Okay, you just okay, makes sense.
I do have 2, but I was I'm just gonna do 3. Yeah, so I need to play more because I haven't really done that much actual combat or anything. I haven't actually like played the game, but just talked to people. So the world building's really cool. I like how organic and open it feels.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty much it for video games. I watched Picard. That was really good.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
It was good.
Yeah. I don't know what to say about it. I didn't see any trailers beforehand. I didn't really have any expectations, and then it's really just like, oh, this is way better than I thought it would be.
A lot of things happened in episode 1.
That's true. A lot more than I thought would happen.
It went on really fast. I was not expecting that.
Yeah, definitely.
Like they're just zipping through areas and doing things. I'm like, oh, he's an old man.
Yeah, I know. And still
Brent
gets hit by an
aged
explosion.
pretty well. The Data character, because it's like he's an android, he can't age. Like he actually
technically
he looks sort of okay. I mean, he gained a little weight, I guess, but I'll take it.
Yeah.
At least he's it's good.
Yeah. That his face paint always freaks me out though.
Yeah.
It's weird,
the way they do his
contacts and
foundation.
stuff.
The problem is like I get what they're going for, but even in the original series, I'm always like, it just looks like bad foundation to me. But that's beside the point.
In the original series, before like it ever aired, they were considering having Spock be, I think like green. He had some color of skin, but it was so in the past that black and white, plus his pointy ears, they thought made him look a little too satanic, and it would turn away Bible Belt viewers. So they got rid of it.
That's kind of funny.
Yeah.
Oops.
Also new show I've found. It's new for me. British show called Taskmaster. I'm loving it. It's 5 British comics. It's on YouTube. So I'm just watching it on YouTube. It's 5 British comics, and the Taskmaster host, which is Greg, I don't remember his last name. He'll get them to do random things like they'll walk outside of the little Taskmaster house, and in front of them will be a block of ice and a note, and it just says, "Make this disappear. Your time starts now." And so, like, one guy, like, runs and, like, throws it in the river. And, like, one person, like, starts hitting it with a hammer from the shed around back and then taking it inside and melting it in the bathtub. And so, like, it kind of just has, like, some little leeway for to try and be clever to try and solve these things to the...
And the participants are all, like, comedians, right?
Yes, participants are all comedians. And it's the same 5 participants for a season. And then it changes participants.
Got it.
So you can see them do different things.
Is the season you're watching now, does it have Joe Lycett?
Yes, I'm on season 2, which has Joe on it.
You should watch his stand-up. He's amazing. He's great. I love him.
I haven't seen his stand-up. I've seen him on... What other show is he on?
There's not much on
8 out of 10
YouTube.
Cats or something?
There's not much on YouTube, but...
that's what I'm familiar with.
Yeah, he's like most British comedians. They're like on all the shows.
I know. 8 out of 10 Cats, would I lie to you?
He was on QI.
He is the most deprecating, which is saying a lot for a British comedian. Like, his whole shtick is how, like, pathetic he is. So it's really funny, because... So the thing that got me into the show was a Joe segment where the challenge was there was a big red like circular carpet outside with a like miniature golf hole in the middle, and the note said, "Get the potato into the hole. Don't touch the red green," because it's like a golf green but it's red.
Yeah.
And so everyone else was like, "Oh, I'm gonna tie a string around it and do a bunch of throws," or "I'm gonna throw it and then like get like a thing to like scoop it back to me," and he just like throws it. And his first shot just goes in. He's like, "That's the best thing I've ever done!" And he's just like losing his mind. It's so funny.
Oh no. That does sound fun. Because we watch 8 out of 10 Cats every once in a while. Would You Lie to Me? It's another very popular one around here. If you've ever never seen that show, that one's really funny.
I watched that because I love David Mitchell and I like Rob Brydon, but I don't like the other guy, whatever his name is. I don't hate him, but he gets angry and it makes me uncomfortable.
I only really like, we watch basically sections with different comedians, like or just different people. Like for instance, sorry, I don't remember his name, but he played Tywin Lannister in Game of Thrones. What is that actor's name? Yes. Yes, thank you. His section, if you ever get a chance for What I Lied to You, is his story's really funny. That's all I'm gonna say.
I didn't know he was
it's
on
pretty
it.
great.
Yeah, that'd be good to see.
I think he was only on that one episode, but his story's great. If you ever get a chance to hear it. But yeah, I've never heard Taskmaster. I may have to look that one up.
I think it's relatively new. Like I've only seen seasons up to 3. I don't know if there's more than that, so it's relatively new.
Okay. Cool.
And it's on YouTube, so it's super easy to watch.
Yeah, thank goodness. I love how these British shows get on YouTube.
Yeah. Yep. That's me. That's my week. That's pretty much all I did. I worked a lot this week, which is not fun at all.
Yeah, I understand that. I've been picking back up 3 houses. I'm trying to get through the second route because I am so far behind. The problem is that I love this game, but I get so caught up in all of the details that I get burnt out when I have to keep doing it. So it's just kind of a problem. Like, I can get through one section of the game, but trying to do like this repeatedly doing this several times. I mean, there is replay value with this game for sure, but like it is kind of hard because especially the first half of it pretty much plays the same no matter what house you're in. You just get different details and different storylines. So it's just a little frustrating. I am enjoying all the new DLC content that gets on there. So that's what's keeping me alive right now. You can finally feed the cats and dogs. So
if there's new DLC content, can you go back into your first playthrough and see the new DLC content, or do you have to like play through it again?
So I guess I shouldn't I'm not sure if it's actually called DLC. But as far as I understand it, yes, because how the content works is it basically adds missions during the game. So like, or just adds new things. So for instance, they added a new location. I haven't tried it, but I do have older saves, but I believe if I go back to those older saves, I will be able to see those. They added new costumes. I think I can see those. They haven't really done the brand new missions yet. That's the next thing that's going to be coming up pretty soon.
Apparently it's going to show like a new house or something.
Yes, I saw about that, and I was like, oh gosh,
so
the last thing I
can
need.
You play as them?
I can't tell because I'm
interact?
not sure yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's hard to tell because the trailer was confusing because it looked like your class fought against them, which was strange. And also they're
secret, like CIA
there's some
kind
secret
of
house.
Okay.
Yeah, and they're a small house. There's not that many people in it. But it's just weird because like the previews made it look like you were fighting against them. So I'm not really sure if I understand fully what's going on. But yes, I did see that and I was like, oh, jeez, another playthrough to add to my list. All right. So I'll get through it bit by bit. I will admit I'm not a huge Smash player, and while I totally understand the community's like anger, I did kind of chuckle when Byleth was announced. But like again, I completely actually understand people's like anger. It is kind of ridiculous. How many Fire Emblem
characters now?
There is
9.
Ike and Marth. They did the 3 with Awakening. They added the 1 from that in this. So I think this is the 8th one, if I do my math correctly.
Oh, man.
Which is a lot. Like, 7th, not 8th. 7th if I did my math correct, but I could have missed somebody. But I think it's the 7th one, which is a lot. Like, don't get me wrong. And it's especially ridiculous when 3 of them are for one game. Like, that was not necessary. I love Fire Emblem Awakening. Smash did not need 3 of the characters in it. They could have picked, like, 2 maybe. But yeah, it is kind of ridiculous, but I do chuckle a lot.
I like Corrin in Smash. But at least they all
I love Corrin.
There's a lot of similarities, but there's also a fair amount of diversity in the ones they picked. At least their play styles, so
yes. Well, the thing is that what I don't mind is that they pick a lot of the MCs, the main characters. So Robin, Corrin, and Byleth now are all the like MC characters, and it's cool because they do make them unique. They all play differently. I love Corrin in Smash as well when I do play it a little bit. But the problem is that like Ike, Marth, Chrom, and Lucina. Like, they're basically, you got 2 and 2, basically. Chrom, I think, plays, like, a worse Ike, and Lucina plays, like, a better Marth or something like that. You didn't, I don't mind adding Lucina because you get a female character in there, but, like, I love Chrom. I don't think he was necessary.
I kind of wish a lot of, like, the same characters were literally just the same, but, like a different skin color option.
Yeah, it would have been better.
Some, like, subtle differences, so they count as different. Like the 2 Samuses or the 2 Castlevania characters are just different enough, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, or is it like Wolf and Star Fox
Wolf
that are?
Star Fox have pretty similar movesets.
Yeah, that's what I've heard at least.
Like that one's a little different, I think. At least remembering whatever one was pre-Smash, because like Wolf had. That one, they are the same, but they are more different than most of the other ones.
Oh, okay. I just have always heard that like Wolf is slower or something like that, so
basically,
he's hard
it's
to
usually
play
how
with.
like Ganondorf and Captain Falcon from Melee.
Yeah, because Lucina is basically, from what I've heard, a faster Marth. Just way faster
makes her
and
better.
yes, just way faster and more. I think just kind of less like downtime with her basically between moves and stuff like that. So, but I agree with you. I totally love Corinne. I love getting that dragon face in. I'm curious to see how Byleth plays. Byleth should be interesting because their main weapon is a sword that can become like a chain.
Ooh,
so
cool.
there's gonna be so there's gotta be some interesting.
Like from Ivy, yeah. Ivy.
Yeah.
Exactly.
She's my favorite character.
So like it kind of comes apart like as a whip. So it's gonna have to have some interesting
That's
things
always cool.
there.
It really sucks that Ivy has the coolest weapon. Because when people
And
ask...
the least clothes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Oh my
if I tell
gosh.
somebody Ivy's my favorite character, they're gonna think, oh, because of boobs. And I'm thinking,
Right.
no, because chainsaw. Fucking
Yeah.
sword that turns into a chain.
I mean,
Yeah,
that's
you like it
kinda
for the
why I
plot.
I don't remember which one of the two it is, but of the two Castlevania characters, they both have whips as their main weapon, and one of them has a whip with like a little spiky ball on the end, which I really like.
That should be...
It's kinda cool.
Eric? What's his name? Richter?
Richter? I don't remember.
I didn't play the old Castlevania, so I have no idea. I play all the newer
Yeah, I
ones
don't know.
with the more RPG elements.
But yeah, Smash Community's tiers were kind of funny to me this past couple weeks. And again,
I liked all
I
the
get
memes that came out of it.
Yes, the memes were so funny. I was making a joke the other day because someone was like, well, there's going to be 6 more characters. And I said, yep, and 3 of them are just going to be the 3 main houses from 3 houses. You got Byleth and the other 3.
On the plus side, I'm very glad I didn't pay for any
Wait,
of
so
the season passes
these
this
are
season.
DLC characters?
I
Yes.
think so, yeah.
That
yeah.
kind of changes thing a little bit, I think.
That's fair.
Like I understand, like...
Well, so I mean, the problem is everybody paid for the season pass.
yeah.
So they already paid for these before they knew they're getting more Fire Emblem
Yep.
characters.
That kind of sucks. Yeah, I get it.
That's
I
why
get
you
it.
don't pre-order. Yeah, fools.
I
guess you
know,
saved
you
like $5,
fools.
so it kind of
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah, it's whatever.
Plus, when
it's
it's
just so
when it's a season pass that trickles the content like that, like waiting for it to come out is a bit different versus like waiting for a huge expansion to come out.
Yeah. That's
There
true.
was at least 1 or 2 characters that I might buy individually from this.
Get
season.
Joker.
I can't remember which ones. Okay, I haven't played Persona, but Joker seems cool.
It is. She
Is
is.
Joker really
I don't
good
know
in
about
Smash?
Banjo
No
Kazooie
idea.
seems weird.
Mm.
I don't remember. There's a third one though.
At least you can buy them individually,
Oh.
I guess.
It's like a how do I Smash DLC characters? I'll just do all that.
I was
It was
gonna
like
say,
somebody
who's-
from
who's
like
on
Resident Evil or something weird.
Oh.
I mean,
Am I
they
thinking
did
of-
have Solid Snake in one of the other Super Smash, right? In one of the Smash.
Yeah, these are not DLC characters. Princess Zelda is not a DLC character.
I hope not. I have a lot of
Bandana
questions.
Waddle
guys.
Dee. It's not Doom Guy. I mean, Doom Guy could come eventually.
Yeah, what was it people thought the new DLC? They thought it was going to be
Trevor?
Dante, I think. I don't know why people thought that, but
People
there was
want
like
Dante.
a... Maybe
Is
they
Dante
wanted
not
it really
already in
bad.
the
Terry. I'm thinking of Terry.
Terry
from
Bogard?
what?
King of Fighters?
Yes.
Oh.
I think
Oh,
so.
gotcha. Gotcha.
Yeah, Terry Bogard from, that's the one I was thinking of. I kind of want him.
He's cool.
Yes.
What else did you do, Sarah?
Oh, you're right.
Oh,
that's right.
geez, not very much.
Mm-hmm.
I mentioned 3 houses. I think I mentioned it a little bit more of Final Fantasy 11. We got through the second Chains of Prometheus, woo, and we're on to the next one. I forget what that one's called. They're all apocalypses, and I get them all confused. What's going on? But yeah, no, it's fine. I think Final Fantasy 11 is one of those games that I think like the good thing about it is they have finally added a lot of necessary player features, because like the old version of the game there was no like teleportation crystals or warp points. You literally had to walk on foot and get on
Immersion.
like ferries. Yeah, big immersion. They have added warp crystals everywhere now, so at least there's that. I'm not I can appreciate that in the past they didn't do that. I think there's like a coolness
a
factor
lot
there,
of
kind of
the
like how older
older
games
MMOs did that, right? Lots
did
of
that.
walking.
Yeah. like I think that's cool for, especially when you're younger, you have a lot more time on your hands.
And
but
the
I
world is
appreciate the
smaller,
fact.
I'm assuming.
Yeah, no, exactly. And I appreciate now that I don't have to worry about that. Although it's just kind of amusing because when you get to some of these new places and they kind of have warp-like crystals that at the time were like war-like crystals, but they're just worse versions of it, and they make it seem like this new powerful thing. And I'm like, but there's a warp crystal in this corner over here that's cheap. I don't have to do anything to get it. So it's just interesting. And also there's all these easy ways to level up now and stuff like that.
The
but
EA Origin software just suddenly popped up. Do you want to let this software make changes? I'm like, what?
what?
And it just blacked
EA,
out
no.
the freaking all my screen. Son of a. Never mind.
Oh gosh.
Just renting.
Okay. That's
anyways, I am subscribed to EA Origin Access Premier. I'm gonna be playing Star Wars this weekend.
How's that going?
Took me a while to understand how to get the games into my library, but it's because I had the software open and then I subscribed, so I kind of just had to reset the software. So
gotcha.
that's all I had to do. I've been playing Batman, the Telltale series.
Oh yeah.
The first
really?
one. Yeah.
Okay. I played the first one.
I'm in the middle of chapter 3. I like it. It's
okay. It's different, right?
It's pretty good. I'm not sure. Is it different? Like,
I mean, it
like,
was
do you mean
before
like the choices feels more impactful?
I actually mean just how they're doing the storyline with Batman. Before the Joker movie, it was kind of the first one that did a bit demonize Thomas Wayne and stuff like that.
I do like that.
Yeah.
And I'm playing like a bit of an asshole Batman, so.
Nice. Yeah, their
Story's
choice
pretty
mechanic. Good. Yeah, I can't really tell if your choices actually really matter. I don't want to spoil too much. It's hard to tell.
So like, I wasn't when the big choice came up of the 2-person I had to save. Like real early. I wasn't like I was thinking like, so if I save the guy, does that mean he doesn't turn into the,
Yeah, and the problem is that the more you play, the more you're like, wait, I guess this is impactful if I chose the girl, but it seems like this should not, but this cannot happen if I chose the guy, so
and
how would they, I have not.
Yeah, I questioned it because of my experience of playing Telltale games.
Yeah, and I haven't looked up like what actually happens, but I think of course they're relying on the fact that nobody would choose the guy, you're going to choose the lady, especially in that instance, but that's okay. I don't know how much the choices matter, but the story gets really dark. I think you're in chapter 3. I think it's chapter 4 where it really is like when we recorded it, I had to put a content warning at the beginning of the video. It gets really dark. So it's interesting now.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it. It's really good, honestly. The textures and animation is ugly as fuck, but other than that,
oh my gosh, I'm actually curious. Are you playing on the Switch?
I am playing on the Switch.
Okay, so on the computer, when we were playing it, oh my gosh, we kept thinking we were breaking our recording equipment because it would keep, like, the frames and textures were not loading correctly. It was pretty bad. It's one of the worst, like, it's one of the worst Telltale games for all that. It's like they tried too much, but not enough. It's very messy.
They probably rushed it. It was one of the later, like, last games they made, right?
Yeah, I think so, which is too bad because the story is
They probably
solid.
needed the money at that point. Like, is what I'm guessing. Oh my god, it's really ugly.
Yeah. Their gameplay of, like, the detective modes and
the detective
even,
okay.
like...
Where you link
that part's cool. And even, like... Obviously, there's no wrong choices that they do, but, like, when you get to decide how to, like, approach a battle kind of thing, like, there's no wrong choice. They're faux choices, but they're kind of cool. It's like, okay, am I going to come from the ceiling? Or you kind of feel like Batman kind of plotting out a route
I just find it difficult to do the quick time events, the button prompts, because I play a lot of Nintendo, but not enough to instinctively know where the X and Y buttons are. So
oh my gosh, I know. And it's it takes a little bit, especially like I know I'm actually having the exact same problems because I'm looking down, my Switch is in front of me, and I also have my Xbox controller, and I just realized that all the buttons are flipped. No wonder I've been having problems.
I'm pretty sure because it's patented, that's why.
I know, and I'm just like, that would explain some things.
When I play on PC, I used to play it on an Xbox controller, and then I switched to a PS4. I have a PS4 controller, a PlayStation, and oh my god.
The reason I'm thinking about this because I played a little bit more of A Plague Tale Innocence, and I'm actually having problems. Like, the first 4 chapters, easy, no sweat. The next 2 chapters, like, I'm actually stuck at a part. And part of it is I think there's an easy way to get through it, but, like, I'm trying to not take the easy kill everybody route. And I was wondering the other day, like, why I was having so many problems, like, remembering the buttons, and I just realized, oh, well, that's why. Going between the Switch and the Xbox controller is a bad idea.
I've been playing more Astral Chain. So, I mentioned before, like, Astral Chain is very Evangelion-esque.
Yes.
And after chapter... not chapter, they call it cases, but it's the same thing. After, like, case 4 or 5, there's a cutscene that made it look like, okay, this is just fucking Evangelion the game now. So it's like, there's a cutscene where the big boss of your police organization thing is talking to, like, the Illuminati almost, and they're talking to not faces, but like, it's just Evangelion, basically. And it's pretty cool. I like it. I'm playing on casual because I found it quite difficult playing it normal.
Interesting.
I think I had it on normal. I don't know. I had it on casual for a while. But the gameplay is just fun. You get to choose different legions. You can have a total of 5. Right now I only have 4. You get after case. The game really opens up after case 3. You get like your great sword, and you get one or 2 more legions, and it really opens up. You get to do like synchronized attacks with your legions, like to end your combos, and it's really cool. But the first 2 cases was really slow, and the combat felt really meh. Does not feel like a platinum game. But it was kind of just like building up story-wise as well to give you this, because you're special. You can have 5 legions instead of normally people just having 1. That kind of thing.
Yeah.
I finished The Boys. That's real good.
Yeah.
Very different from the comics, but it's still pretty good.
I mean, tonally, I think it's the same buttons.
Tonally, it's
the
the same.
events. They're a little different.
Yeah.
Like, some of the events make sense not to have around, like 9/11 and stuff like that.
Yeah, but I kind of missed the whole thing where in the comics, everybody has these fucking superheroes. The Japanese, the Russians, the Germans.
Oh, yeah.
And it's not just an American thing.
It's interesting because, like, the biggest difference is in the comics, or in the show, it's like some big reveal secret, like, hey, the superheroes, they took a drug and that made them into supers. And like in the comics, the public don't know that, but like you, the reader, and the characters know that the entire time.
Yeah.
Like it's not a secret really.
Yeah.
So it's interesting to have kind of like the extra thing.
Yeah. It's still good though. I recommend The Boys.
Yeah.
It's quite gory. It's quite gory.
The comic is really gory.
Yeah,
the show's pretty gory.
The show's pretty gory too.
The comic has a girl jump through a guy's torso and come out holding his lungs.
Oh, jeez.
Just dives through him. It's the most brutal thing I've seen in a comic, I think.
So I've been playing Batman, Astral Chain, and watching The Boys. Other than that, I finished both my arms finally. They're both finished. Both of them.
Nice.
Yeah.
How long did that take?
Like
not total, but it's like the last bit.
The last session of this one took 3.5 hours.
Oh, man.
And it's mostly just coloring like kind of 1/3
So
on
much
top
color.
of this, and adding details around here. She thickened some of the black lines and added some whites to make it pop. And the last half hour was one of the worst experiences I've had in my tattooing career or whatever.
Because the location is super bad.
Because my arm has, after 3 hours, my arm is super fucking swollen already, and she was using the really thin needle to do all the small little details, and I felt every little fucking dot. I felt it all.
Oh gosh.
It was worth it though. But it was one of those. So usually when I'm sitting down in the chair or whatever, I feel it. It hurts sometimes. It's nice sometimes, but it's just like a like that. This one I was like biting my hand, so I was like, it was not pleasant at all. Yeah, and then I finished. I added a bit more background to. He added like really
cool.
Shady diamond thingies, because the tarot cards, if you looked at the Persona 5 tarot cards, the background is like diamonds, so like
yeah.
I told him like, just put in some like, just to make it a bit more full, so he avoided the elbow.
That's nice.
I have a few here and like a little bit here.
I see that.
But this one's done finally. My next one is gonna be
oh my gosh.
Yeah, I already booked. I booked.
Oh my gosh!
I booked her for March. I'm taking a break for February, mostly because I have extra things to pay for. But so I asked for. So basically, Rowlet from Pokemon Sun and Moon, my favorite starter, and Toxel, one of my new favorite Pokemon from Sword and Shield.
You like him? Nice.
So baby Toxel. Baby Rowlet, Ash's Rowlet, by the way. Ash's Rowlet wears the third evolution's like hoodie.
Oh, cool.
So it's really cute. They're walking in a forest and they find a treasure chest mimic from Dragon Quest, is what I was asking for. Yeah.
I like the crossover.
And since it's gonna be a forest thingy, I told her if there's space, put like a Marlboro from Final Fantasy like hiding behind one of the trees or something.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. But that one's
How do you
gonna...
get these ideas?
No idea.
Wait, the Marlboros are the weird like things with all the eyes, right?
Yeah, with the tentacles, and they have that attack where
I like
it does all the status attacks on you. Fucking annoying.
All the breathing stuff. I like Tonberries a lot.
Tonberries.
Especially
I
Final
love
Fantasy 8. They're fucking creepy. When you're fighting one, all they do is they just creep slowly at you each turn.
Yes, they do.
Yeah,
oh my gosh.
I like that one.
I guess I don't like them as much as I like Prinnies. I think I just kind of like squat things with knives.
Oh, Prinnies, that must be a good one.
Prinnies would be cool. Eat it, dude! The big old bomb over your head or something.
So, but this one's not going to be that colorful. I was telling her like each character will have like one signature color. And not as colorful as like this one. I don't want too much color.
I can't mess up the aesthetics and stuff.
Walking home yesterday, I saw the guy with a full sleeve of Studio Ghibli. Studio Ghibli.
Oh wow!
Yeah. I looked at it. It's like yeah. This is Ghibli. Yeah, I see all the characters.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So yeah, that's been my couple of weeks. Not much else. Star Wars coming up, so I can talk about that the next time. Star Wars.
Star Wars, sorry, yeah.
A couple of new-ish games. Temtem is like out. It's still early access. Do you guys know Temtem? Temtem.
I've heard of it, but I don't think
it's the indie-made Pokemon MMO.
Oh, yeah. That's why I've heard of it before. Yep. We're just waiting until I get shut down.
No, it won't be shut down. It's like all original characters.
Oh, okay.
Like
I wasn't
Fighting
sure.
Hooves.
Yeah.
What?
Remember Fighting Hooves? The My Little Pony knockoff fighting game that Lab Zero gave their engine to.
Oh. Did they get shut down?
Is it Fighting Herds? Fighting Herds,
Oh, okay.
not Fighting
Yes.
Hooves. My bad. They did not get shut down. They were going to get shut down, but because I think they were just using My Little Pony characters, and then they, changed them just enough to make them distinct, apparently.
So the reviews that I've been seeing is performance-wise can be improved. The MMO stuff is not that great yet because like you can do most things solo. You don't really need to play with other people. You can build your own house. That's pretty cool. And some of the designs of the monsters are pretty cool too. And the combat is slightly different. I think you use 2 instead of just 1.
Oh, interesting.
It looks good.
Opens
I'll
up
probably
some
wait
interesting abilities.
a while more because like early access. It's like it just came
Yeah.
out like a few days ago.
Yeah.
And we'll give it a couple of years, see how good it becomes. But yeah, this looks pretty good. And it's $35.
Per month or just?
No, just like one time.
Oh,
I'm not
that's cool.
sure if they have microtransactions because it is an MMO. Probably not now.
They probably should though if they're gonna try to survive. Yeah, well, if they're gonna survive.
Plus, they're indie. They're not like Nintendo or whatever. Like, they can just throw money at everything.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, looks kind of cool. It has a very nice cartoony aesthetic as well.
Cool.
So that's Temtem. Another one is
When's that coming out?
It's out.
Oh, it's out. Okay, cool.
It's not just early access.
It's just early access. Yeah, it's on Steam. Temtem. TEM.
That's always risky to get into an MMO early access because you never know when they're going to do like resets.
Cough, Final Fantasy.
Especially if
cough.
you like fucking caught a bunch of monsters. Yeah, I wonder how many monsters there are. Yeah.
I'm surprised they haven't mentioned.
This one you might be interested in, Sarah. It's a Nancy Drew game.
Oh.
Midnight in
Is
Salem.
it, wait. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, okay. There's a little backstory to this one.
Mixed reviews, though.
Very mixed reviews. Yeah, I haven't looked into it. I follow their Facebook page, and it was a dumpster fire before they finally got this out. The thing you have to remember is that Her Interactive, which is the company that makes these games, way back when, I'm talking like 15 years ago, they used to shovel out 2 games per year of this stuff.
That's a lot of games.
The games were never like extremely high quality, but I mean, I enjoyed them. I was a kid. Yeah, they're very decent point and click games, to be honest with you, and decent puzzle games. And there really were no other female oriented games like that at the time that I could play as a kid. A lot of them were rated T or rated M, so I couldn't play them when I was a kid. So anyway, they were doing this for a while, and then the company kind of went through issues that a lot of indie developers did. They almost shut down, and actually they weren't like Telltale. They actually made a lot of really good decisions, but it just was kind of inevitable. So they kind of had to restart from the ground up. And so this game, Midnight in Salem, has been in production hell for probably 4 years, I want to say, which was very strange at the time. It might have been even more than that. I don't really remember. And it was just everybody was getting really frustrated because they kept being like, yep, we'll have, new information about it soon, blah, blah, blah. And they kept like teasing, and then they pushed back release dates like 3 times. And so when it finally came out, everybody was like, oh, this is real. And yeah, extremely mixed reviews. Some people say that it's actually better than we thought it would be. It's, it's still got the charm as Nancy Drew games. And other people are basically a point of view of, you guys had 5 years to do this. What happened? It still looks crappy. Because the graphics were never great in Nancy Drew games, even for the time they were made. But they still look pretty bad now. So I was thinking of picking it up and playing it. I haven't. It's hard because the game, they're all new stuff. There's new mechanics, and there's new voice actor for Nancy, which is hard because I love the old voice actor. I wrote her a letter when I was 12, and she wrote back to me.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, super cool. That was really awesome.
It's always cool to get replies like that.
Yes. It was actually really fun. It's a quick side story. So in 6th grade, our class thing was to write to a famous person. That was it. Well, I was a 12-year-old person who didn't really have a celebrity that I really admired at the time. I didn't really care. I didn't really have anybody. So this person was the only person that I was kind of she seems really cool, but I had no way of getting her address. She wasn't at any kind of listing because she's not that famous. She's a voice actress, but she's not well known enough to get letters. And it was kind of funny because the night before the project was due, the letter was finished, but I was having trouble finding an address to send it to. And so I was going back and forth. I thought I'd have to write a letter to the president to try to at least make it, have it graded. And then last minute, I took out one of my games and saw the address of the Her Interactive office in the back. And so I was like, okay, this might not work, but at least I can get this letter out. And so I basically wrote a mini letter saying, please send to Lainey Minella, the name of the voice actress, put the letter inside and sent it to them. And she got it. She sent me something back. It was really cool.
Very cool.
Yeah, that was really awesome.
She probably was not expecting a fan letter as well.
She doesn't get many. Pretty much the Nancy Drew community
Very
was
niche.
what got her kind of on. Yeah, because she is she has a huge credit list when it comes to voice acting. But
like in
like
games
if you look
and
her
like
up,
cartoons and stuff.
yeah, but mainly because she's really good at voices. So like I think she voices Ivy. Actually, I think that's her voice actress
Ivy
is Lenny Manella. The Ivy you were talking about from
Boob Chainsaw.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. I think that's her voice actress. She also has done like she's one of the people that does like the screeching animal sounds from like World of Warcraft and stuff like that. She does a lot more of that stuff, not much of like voice acting. So yeah, it's very interesting. That was cool. My moment of fame. But yeah, Nancy Drew, Midnight in Salem. I haven't really done much with the Nancy Drew games. Just because there's been a lot of weirdness. But
Ooh, she's in
I'm glad they're still
lot of
trying.
games.
Mm-hmm.
She
does
Fire
like a lot
Emblem,
of.
and she is Ivy.
Yes. Who is she in Fire Emblem?
Mia in Fire Emblem Radiant Dawn, Micaiah in
that's
Radiant
her.
Dawn, and Mist in Radiant Dawn. Seems like
Oh,
very
sorry,
Radiant
Dawn.
Radiant Dawn.
That's an older one.
That's a
I haven't
Wii
played
game,
that one.
isn't it?
Yeah, I never played that one. That was before I got into the series. She also is I don't know if you ever played Professor Layton.
Yeah,
but
she's
Luke.
That's cool.
Her vocal range is
She
incredible.
Is
I think.
Super Smash Bros. Pit, Lucas, and Lynn.
Yeah.
She's
Yeah, she's
Borderlands
got
as Steel.
incredible. Yeah, she's very, very, very talented. But she, because in her letter, I think I asked her questions of how she got into voice acting and stuff, and she was like, "Yeah, I got famous by being able to like mimic famous celebrities for radio shows and stuff like that."
Okay.
But she is like
you mean that?
yeah.
Oh, okay. I get what you mean now.
Yeah.
Like being good at voices.
Yeah. And she's got like a 4-octave range when it comes to her vocal range. There's a really cool YouTube video where she was interviewed for something, and she just shows how she can go from like a super like young kid all the way to like an old grandma. And it's like, whoa! So she's really cool. But yeah, it's awesome.
Super cool.
So yeah.
That's about it. There's this new game that just came out like last week. It's called Star Fetchers Pilot. So I'm guessing the pilot means like pilot episode because this is only episode 1. It's free to play.
Oh, okay.
And it has 700 reviews and it's overwhelmingly positive.
Huh. Okay. What kind of game is it?
It is
like
indie action adventure
novel.
gory.
What?
Yeah, so you use like some gangster with a long sword and you just go around hacking
it's
people.
free.
But also there's like yeah, it's free to play, and then I'm guessing they're going for that like kind of meta story, like some kind of so the description says introduction to a wild ride with gangsters and deep state conspiracy theories. So I'm not
Actually
sure.
looks pretty cool.
Yeah. So I'm just hoping the deep state conspiracy theories is not, like Pizzagate kind of shit.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on, guys.
So yeah, that's a thing.
A risk.
Yeah, that's a risk. News time?
Sure.
Not much news. That's like nothing.
I was gonna say, do we have any?
There's
a lot of
thing.
game delays.
There's one thing.
Okay. What's the thing?
Psyonix, the developer of Rocket League, is pulling support for
saw
Mac and
this.
Linux.
Yeah.
So in March, they're gonna be rolling out an update that will get rid of online support.
Oh.
Yeah. You can still play it like local and stuff like that, but no online play. And they are opening it for refunds. So there's that at least.
Jeez. Okay.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's too bad because somebody put up a link and said something like for every Mac purchase, Mac averages like 49 times more support tickets than a Windows purchase kind of thing. Like, yeah, it's I get it.
Yeah,
It
and
sucks,
there's
but
not
I
enough
get it.
Linux users to justify it.
Yeah, honestly, it's one of those things. If you want to play video games, you just have to have Windows. You can dual boot shit, right? It's not.
It's true.
If you use Linux, you should be knowing how to dual boot stuff on people who use Linux are not like noobs. They know how to do.
Generally.
Yeah, generally. So yeah, that's a thing, I suppose, and that's the only thing I have. Like literally nothing happening.
Yeah, a lot of game delays. Actually.
Yeah,
Kind of a
Cyberpunk
crazy
2077
amount.
is coming out in September, which is my birthday month. So there's that.
I'm mad only because my wedding's in October, so I'm not gonna have like any time to play it. That's the only reason I'm super pissed. But oh well.
So everybody was like, when they just announced it, everybody was like, okay, that's good. They don't have to crunch.
Yeah,
Nah,
and
they have to
then-
crunch all the way into September. Which
Everybody's
was
crunching.
Confirmed by the game director.
It was indeed
Yeah.
confirmed, unfortunately, and we all went.
He used
Damn
he
it.
used a sentence like, "We will try to
They will work
limit
overtime.
it, but like there will be some sort of
said our-
crunch in some form. They're gonna fucking crunch. Just fucking say it."
Yeah, they said like there would be
Yeah.
expectations of overtime. Like it was really bad.
Some
Final
people
Fantasy
did say that Poland do pay overtime. I'm not too sure how true that is.
okay.
So
I was wondering too. I mean, it's not like they're in the United States,
Yeah,
so
they're not
maybe it's
American,
better.
yeah.
You know, so maybe I don't know.
but it still
there's
sucks that you still have to be forced to, you know.
Oh, exactly. That's terrible. I mean, well, until they unionize, until the video game
Not only that,
industry
right now I'm
unionize.
just not sure when it comes to crunch, how much of it is just stockholder expectations and how much of it is shitty project management. Is it a combination of
I know,
both and a few other
and
things,
that's-
or like?
Well, it drives me nuts because you're like, these are people who have, you know, predictably made some games for a while. I'm talking about like management. You would think they would at least have an idea of how long it takes to make these games these days. So why are you crunching?
I
But
wonder if the problem is like the system, like the norm is just so crunchy and bad that it's hard to escape from
that's fair. It might be. You know, you have those expectations of get this game out by this quarter, right?
it. Yeah.
And
we
when you
did
get
it
the
with
new
last
idea, you
game.
go.
Yeah,
I'm
the
just-
last game sucked.
There's just so
exactly.
much research and study that shows past the 40 hours, you're just not efficient anymore.
Not
So
affection, exactly.
So I'm just wondering, like, if there is no crunch, like if you, 8 hours, just fuck off home, will it actually increase will it actually push back release dates even farther, or will it just be just a little bit because you're just not that efficient anyways?
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm just hoping for a big company to do that, but they ain't gonna do that. So
They won't. Not anytime soon.
you can
but
maybe
yeah, they're not gonna-
count on the double A ones, maybe.
Maybe that's true.
Like the Divinity
Yeah.
Studios, where they're pretty big now,
Exactly.
but they're not triple A big.
Yeah. Exactly. Well, like time will tell. But yeah, and not just Cyberpunk. Final Fantasy VII's getting a delay.
Until April.
Yeah. Who else is getting a delay? There's been a couple of them. so
Dying
much so
Light
I'm just
2 is being delayed.
yes, Dying
as
Light
well.
2 is getting delayed.
I
It's
didn't
just
even know
it's
they had a date.
interesting because I've never seen so many
They-
games all at once.
They
getting
did not have
delayed.
a
Is something going
solid
on?
date. They had a middle
Month or
2020,
something?
and they were like now end of 2020 kind of thing. Yeah.
Okay. I'll
But
definitely
yeah,
get
there's
that
just-
pretty.
It's just interesting.
Doom 2020 is not being Doom Eternal is not being delayed, and it's gonna go up against Animal Crossing. That'll be interesting.
Yes, it's going. Yep, Animal Crossing is doing it on the same day. Marvel's Avenger got also pushed back to September.
Yeah, I'm not too hot on that one. It doesn't look good.
I know, it's whatever. Marvel's Iron Man VR, I didn't even know this was happening, also got pushed back. And yeah, it's interesting because it's just making me wonder what's going on. It just seems like a lot of games all at once talking about being pushed back. And I'm wondering if part of it might be due to the fact that,
The PS5?
I'm thinking of Anthem.
Okay.
Some of the games that recently came out that were just awful. And part of it being that it was kind of rushed and poorly put together and stuff like that.
and also maybe they were trying to get it out early before the PS5 hype, before the next gen. That's happening at the end of the year, right? That's like
Yeah, I think so. We think at least. Listen, Xbox X, I'm not sure if you guys, Xbox Series X, I'm not sure if you heard this, but it will not have any exclusive first-party games at launch. So dead on arrival?
Why would people buy it?
Yeah,
I mean,
excellent question.
exclusive is it sucks that, but that's the business, right? I have no idea.
I mean, listen, have you guys seen what the new Xbox looks like?
I saw the leaks.
It looks like a miniature. Yeah, it looks like a miniature computer. So I'm not sure who they're selling this to,
Honestly,
but part of me is wondering if someone's sabotaging it.
Do you think like more people will buy the Xbox if they made it a thing that can run Steam on it? Like just
Can you
like
imagine?
a good Steam box?
like just fucking shove Windows in there.
Oh my gosh,
You can play
that'd be so
Xbox
funny.
games and you can fucking just play Steam, like just.
That would be pretty
I mean,
funny.
or even just like if you buy a game on our Xbox, we will also
Give you a copy on
give you a
Steam.
copy on Steam, and it'll share progress. That'd be the best thing ever.
That would be pretty cool.
That would be great. Yeah. So anyway, I don't know how the Xbox Series X is going to launch. We'll see how that goes, and lots of delays. So
Did
be
you guys
curious to
see
know.
the at CES Dell Alienware showed off that handheld PC?
I didn't see that.
So it looks like a Switch basically, and
okay.
I'm not sure if the controllers are removable. Probably not, but like yeah, it's
Interesting.
a Switch-like thing that plays Windows, Steam
Okay.
and shit.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's pretty
it was,
cool, actually.
it was shown off at CES, and
See, I feel like
the funny thing is a lot of people that were doing reporting on it at CES, the angle of the reporting was basically if you are not happy with the $300 price tag and the limited games on the Switch, this might be more your thing. And I'm just thinking, yeah, this shit ain't gonna be $300.
Yeah, what are you talking
It's a
about?
fucking handheld PC.
It's Alienware.
Yeah, it's not gonna be $300. Number one. Number two, the Switch has a pretty big library now.
Yeah, what are you talking about? Limited library. What are you
And
talking
it does have a lot of
anyway?
exclusives, which is a lot of the reasons why people buy a console. You're not gonna play Super Mario Odyssey on your Dell Alienware thing. But also, I believe they did announce a price a couple weeks after the whole announcement.
Yeah.
It's £600. That's not 300 US. Come on, man! Like,
That's so expensive.
did you really think it's gonna be $300?
That's like more expensive than the PS4 was. Oh my lord.
Yeah, it's a handheld thing, but like, I knew it was gonna be expensive. Did you not see this coming? Like, dear journalist people who've been writing shit like this for their whole lives, like.
Apparently not. Just get the headline out. Yikes. Yeah, no.
The
Sounds
editor
cool,
is probably
but no.
like, you must have Nintendo Switch in the title of the article or something.
Right. Something to compare it to. Yeah. Oh, wow. That stinks. But yeah.
Not much else. Another surprising thing. Did you guys know there was a first-person Terminator Resistance shooter game thingy?
No, I did not.
No.
And apparently
I'm sure
it's
it's great.
pretty good.
Okay.
Oh.
Great.
Okay.
Awesome.
So it's like a low budget as in not as like AAA budget.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's not just a linear first-person shooter. You have quests and you have skill trees too.
Whoa.
Yeah, but it's very like straightforward. Like
Wait,
the
is
skill
it-
tree, like weapon damage and stuff like that. But still,
Is it open world?
it's not open world, but it's one of those like, this is a big area of a map that you can explore a little bit kind of thing.
Are there any current games that have the old video game model of like levels? Or like a James Bond level, blah 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 blah. You're gonna do this. I feel like all games.
You mean just first-person shooters? So like Astral Chain does
yeah,
it in a
specifically
way.
for first-person shooters. Like because platformers will do levels certainly. But I feel like every game I've played, which isn't that many, but it's like
No,
a lot of
like you said,
more open world
platformers,
or
character
organic.
action games. They tend to still do the level
Character
stuff.
action. Oh yeah, character action games. I bet like Dante or
Dante,
Devil May
yeah.
Cry 5 might.
Yeah,
I think.
Bayonetta does it.
Okay.
Devil May Cry
Well,
does
it
it.
does exist.
Astral
You
Chain
get like a
does it.
score at the end, right?
Yeah.
Like your time or whatever.
And you can replay
It's
it.
still around.
But first-person shooters, not
I don't
really.
want it. I'm just curious if it existed.
It is interesting.
I think people are just asking for more these days. I don't know.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
But yeah, there's a Terminator first-person shooter that's actually pretty good that nobody knows about. A lot of them know about it now because a lot of videos have, but it
Come out.
It was just released and like with no marketing.
Yeah, it's weird. Huh.
Uh,
I'm probably gonna watch the new Terminator this weekend. Just
Actually,
for lack of anything else.
Is there a new Terminator or something? Is that why the game is
There's
a
one
thing?
that came out like a month or two ago.
Oh, okay.
It is called.
Oh, is that the one where she came back, the badass lady?
Yeah, badass lady came back.
And
It is called Terminator Dark Fate. And it has Linda Hamilton as Sarah Connor.
and another female actress as the lead, right?
Mackenzie Davis as Grace, and Natalie Reyes as Daniel something. They both look familiar, but I don't know why. And obviously Arnold is back.
Of course. Can't have a Terminator movie without him.
He is only in Terminator, according to this. And this person is from Martian, Blade Runner 2049, and some other stuff I don't know.
I'm just gonna read the plot on Wikipedia, so...
Sounds
I'm not
Decades
watching
after
it.
Sarah Connor prevented Judgment Day. A new Terminator? No way. Unpredictable. Did you guys see the last one with Matt Smith? That was weird.
Was it weird?
I liked it. I liked the beginning of it a lot because you have like current day Arnold facing off against like original footage Arnold, which was actually kind of cool. I didn't like the climax, but the movie itself was pretty good. It's not the worst Terminator movie, probably. 3 is probably still the worst, I think, in my opinion.
Other than that, not much, honestly. I'm out.
I don't have anything either.
I'm out. Yeah, me too.
Okay.
Should we do the thing?
Do
I
the
just
thing.
need more Picard.
Yeah.
Soon.
Soon. Why yeah, okay.
It's already been renewed 3 seasons. Just give me the first season now.
It's been renewed 3 seasons?
Like 5. It's been renewed like
Shit.
more than once already.
What the heck?
Like before the pilot even came out.
That's crazy.
I mean,
It's
like,
crazy.
it's
That
Star
makes
Trek
sense to me.
plus Picard, I guess it's like what everybody wants.
We got Patrick
Yes.
Stewart. We can print our own money.
Exactly.
Okay, Sarah, do the thing.
All right, this is Sarahscopic, Sarahscopic. I need to get back on YouTube. I'm sometimes on Twitch. I'm on Twitter. You can also check me out at rngandt.com, where I also do another podcast there.
And I'm Foehamner. I think in the last episode, I was like, I'm for sure going to record this week. And then I didn't. So I'm not going to make any promises today.
Under promise, over deliver.
Yeah, I'm just going to play Monster Hunter. I considered recording Monster Hunter, but I occasionally can get very angry when playing Monster Hunter. And that's embarrassing. So I'm not going to record it.
I understand that completely.
And I'm Pupunoob, Ruby. You know where to find me. This has been episode 168 of the playonultra podcast. Thank you very much for watching this thing. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.